and then perform a ranking. So rank, then you need to do method is equal to. Now, how do you know which method of ranking should be employed? Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This channel, Data Science, is all about trying to learn various concepts of data science by practicing a lot of questions. This video is in continuation of the series where we are trying to learn Python by solving interview questions from top tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. If you are preparing for any of this role, this is a great series to follow and build your concepts. So, let's jump right in. In this video, we are going to solve this question and start a scratch regarding bottom two companies by mobile usage. This question has been asked in Microsoft and Apple interviews, and it's a great question if you're preparing for data engineer, data scientist, BI analyst, data analyst, or ML engineer roles. Okay, write a query that returns a list of bottom two companies by mobile usage. Company is defined in the customer ID column. Mobile usage is defined as the number of events registered on a client ID equal to mobile. Order the result by the number of events ascending. In the case where there are multiple companies tied for the bottom ranks, that is rank 1 or 2, return all the companies. Output the customer ID and the number of events. Okay, so we are given a data frame called fact events, and our expected output is a pandas data frame with two different columns, customer ID. So basically this is the company and the total number of events, and these are lowest number of events for these different companies. Let's inquire about this fact events data frame. So we have multiple columns. We are only concerned about the customer ID, which is basically the company, and then we need to filter by client ID equal to mobile, and we need to take the event ID and count the number of events, because that is going to give you the mobile usage as is defined in this question, right? Okay, so let's start with it. The first thing that we should do is we should perform a filter and keep only those rows where client ID is equal to mobile. So how can we do that? We can use the dot query method. So dot query basically take the client ID and equate it to mobile. So if I go ahead and run this, it is going to keep only those rows where client ID is mobile, right? Once we have this, then we need to find out that, okay, for every customer ID, because customer ID is basically the company. So for every company, how many total events are present, because that is going to give you the number of events. So what we can do is we can do dot group by the customer ID, and then dot aggregate method that we learned about. The final name of the column that we want in our output is number of events. So n events, it should be equal to take the event ID column and perform a count. And since we grouped by the customer ID, we need that as a output, right, as a column. So we need to do reset index. Okay, now let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what do we get in our output. So now we have different customer IDs and the total number of events. Now from this, we are only required to keep the bottom two. So we need to do a ranking. So let's store this entire thing in a data frame called df. Then let me make a new column called rank. And how we are going to rank? We are going to rank based on n events in ascending order. So take the n events column and then perform a ranking. So rank, then you need to do method is equal to. Now how do you know which method of ranking should be employed? So here let's inquire about this. So here we have various customer IDs and the number of events. So by the lowest number of events, which two are the bottom companies? Electric Gravity has 4, which is minimum, and eShop also has 4, which is minimum. So Electric Gravity and eShop are the bottom two companies. Now one of the ranking methods that we have learned so far is called dense ranking. Basically, if there is a tie, so for example there is a tie between Electric Gravity and eShop, so if you do a dense method of ranking, it will be assigned rank 1. This is also going to be assigned rank 1. The next highest is 7. So if you are using a dense method ranking, it is going to be assigned rank 2. In your output, once you filter for rank less than equal to 2, how many total companies you are going to end up with? 3, right? Because 1, 1 and then 2. So that is why going with dense method of ranking is not a good choice in this case, because it violates what the company asks you, bottom two companies. Now there is another method. If you have learned about ranking in SQL, there is a method called rank, where if there is a tie, it will skip a rank. So that in Python is method called minimum or min for short. So method should be min and it should be ascending is equal to true. So that is by default. So even if you do not write it, that is okay. Let me just do this and I will just answer one of the questions that might be coming in your mind right now. Is that okay? Now this is rank 1. This is rank 1 and then the next high is because there was a tie, so it will skip a rank and now this is going to be rank 3, not 2. If you use the method dense here, right, let me just try to see and demonstrate that. Okay, if you use the dense ranking, so you see this is rank 2. This is not what we want. Now you might be thinking that okay, what if there was, okay, let me just run this again. So what if this send it also had number of events equal to 4. So this would be ranked 1, this would be ranked 1, this would be ranked 1. Then if you do less than equal to 2, aren't you ending up with more than 2, just like you were ending up with more than 2 when you were using a dense rank? So here the answer lies that in case where there are multiple companies tied for the bottom ranks, rank 1 or 2, return all the companies. The language of this question is like very confusing. What they should have written is, if there is no tie. So for example, consider a situation where electric gravity had 4 events and eShop had 5 events. So obviously the bottom 2 are electric gravity with 4, eShop with 5. In this case, electric gravity and eShop both have 4, so you have only 2 of them. Now I was just talking about what if send it also had 4. Language of the question should have been, if there are ties, then return all the least number of event companies, otherwise return the bottom 2. So you see, that is a problem that might arise in your mind. So that is why we are using minimum and not dense ranking. I think that might be clear now. Okay, now we are only going to keep those rows where rank is less than equal to 2. So we write df dot query. We need to basically take, okay, rank should be less than equal to 2. If I go ahead and run this, it is going to keep only those rows where rank is less than equal to 2. We are only going to have customer ID and number of events in our output, and therefore we provide customer ID and number of events. Okay, now let me go ahead and run this again. So now you have what we want in our expected output. Let me go ahead and submit this, pass all the test cases. So everything is green and this is how we do it. So yes, somewhat tricky question. All we had to do was, firstly, what we did was we only kept those rows where client ID equal to mobile, because that is what the question says, that mobile usage is defined as the number of events registered on a client ID equal to mobile. Then once we are done with it, then for every company, right, which is the customer ID column, we group by that and find the total number of events that is going to define the mobile usage. And then once we are done with it, then we perform a ranking on the number of events in ascending order, and we use the method called minimum and not dense. I discussed in detail why did we do that. Then once we have the ranks, then we kept only those rows where rank is less than equal to 2 and return the list of columns that we wanted in our output. So this is how we do it. Let me know if there's a better way or more efficient way to solve this question. Let the solution be in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.